There are only 4 rules you need to remember. Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
That about sums it up for this week on The Flash and for Super Chat. Let's derail talking about these massive action-packed episodes of Supergirl and The Flash right now on Super Chat. Hey everyone, welcome back to Super Chat. I'm your host, Just Jess. We're talking about all the CW shows this week, specifically focusing on Supergirl and The Flash because those were huge episodes. Yeah. And we only have one more each, and that makes me sad, but also excited for next season. I have some great guests with me today. We have Jada Diaz of Con Carolinas. We've got Ron Rossman of the Dusk series, this awesome series. I'm going to have you tell us all about it. And Paige Dula, founder of Gender Lines. So what is going on with the Con? It's coming up so soon.
The Con is coming up in 2.5 weeks, and we are so excited. We've got Sherilyn Kenyon, the author, and Aurelio Voltaire, who's not just a musician. He's an author. He's a filmmaker, he's an artist, and he does a knockoff of what we call a TLC series called Gothic Home Living.
Oh wow!
So
you know, I like some Gothic decor.
Yes.
I just was looking for black curtains for my apartment.
He will tell you where to get the blackest black curtains for your apartment. And you all have a contest going.
We do. So go to the contest page at WCCBcharlotte.com, and there is a code to get a 10% discount, and you can also win some membership passes. So make sure to check it out, enter. You don't have a lot of time to enter, so get those entries in. It's going to be a fun convention, and I'm hosting a CW panel.
Yes, you are.
So that will be a lot of fun. It's going to be like a big Super Chat.
You're also going to be a costume contest judge. We have a special division, you know, because we do have 3 divisions in our costume contest. We've added a 4th for special costumes from the DC small screen shows.
Now can Ron enter? Because Ron is, you may or may not recognize him because of his secret identity, he is our cosplayer for Barry Allen. He plays the Flash for us on the CW Street team. He does a great job of it.
Thank you.
And so,
I enjoy it.
yes, and you need to come out to the con dressed up. That'll be great.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And what's been going on with the Dusk series?
So we just finished episode 7.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to film episode 8, which will air live on the Facebook page. And we're beginning our 3-episode stretch where all 3 episodes are stunt choreographed. So we have all of our fight scenes.
And they're live, guys. It's live.
Yeah, we just, whatever you see, you get. Which as a director is incredibly taxing. Jonathan Thompson is doing all of our stunt choreography, as well as Josh Flam from Brooklyn's boxing gym. You get to see Michael, the first appearance of him.
Okay.
Our main villain, we get to see Dana Verhey play Valkyrie, who is also a local cosplayer. And then we get to see Jonathan in all his Gabriel vampire glory. So we're really looking forward to it. It's exciting. And I've been working with Jonathan, doing the training and the stunt choreography. And I've got to tell you, it's gonna rival Arrow. So it's fantastic. So
hear that, Stephen Amell? Is there a salmon ladder?
No, there's no salmon. I wish there was salmon ladder. But so it's facebook.com/the Dusk series. It's Sunday at 7 o'clock on the 21st.
And tune in because it's live.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then in August we'll be releasing our Blu-ray, which will have all the polished versions. We're gonna have extra features, gag reel commentary, and all that.
Oh, fun! So, have you had some good gag moments live?
We've had. They do the donut roll, and it's actually on the Facebook page. Jonathan came up with it, where everyone keeps offering Gabriel the vampire something to eat, and you can imagine how that goes badly. And so they've just been playing off it. It's actually quite funny. So Tyler Suggs is our cinematographer and editor. He's from the Furious Fancast, and he has been amazing. He's done tireless work with it, and I'm just, every day we find something, a reason why they don't film things live on Facebook, and yet we overcome them.
So that's such a challenge, and that's really cool that you step up to that challenge. Like, that stresses me out just thinking about it.
I actually sit in another room with a pair of headphones and watching the episode, and I think there's moments I get the closest to God. Please don't let something go. And they've done an amazing job. They've done an absolutely amazing job. I mean, my entire cast is phenomenal.
It works smoothly if you get the right people in there. Very cool. We'll check it out. And Gender Lines, you're the founder. Tell us about the website and the organization and what you've been doing.
Gender Lines, we're a transgender support group here in Charlotte for any local transgender folks and their allies. We've been doing a community education series this year In February, we did one on HB2.
Yes.
We just did one this weekend on trans healthcare here in Charlotte. And our next one coming up, I think, will be in July. We haven't firmed up the date yet.
And are you working with Pride Fest?
No, we're actually not working with Pride Fest.
Okay.
We're working totally on our own with this.
Good. This is cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
but we're going to do on homelessness within the trans community in Charlotte.
Oh,
and,
good.
and
Okay.
what resources are available and that type of thing.
And so where can people find you if they need the support system?
Yeah, if you just go to genderlines.org, you can find our website there, and it has our calendar of events and everything that's going on.
And if
with the
people
group.
wanted to like reach out just to talk to somebody.
Yes, we have that as well. You can just email info@genderlines.org. That'll go directly to me.
Awesome.
I'm connected with a lot of counselors and that type of thing, so we can, if you need help, we can get you the resources.
Great work. Yeah, that's very exciting. I'm so glad you guys are all here because these episodes have been so big this week. In The Flash, we have to ask our big question of the week, and it's kind of vague. It's a little broad. It is, what is going to happen next week? Yeah. So we saw where we left off. Spoilers. Iris is dead. Yeah. Or, so we think. So what is your theory? What is your theory? We've seen that despite their best efforts, it went according to Barry's future vision, that when he traveled in the future, we see that Savitar does, in fact, kill Iris despite the speed bazooka and everything.
Terrible.
Or does he?
Yeah,
or does he?
It's a bait and switch.
Bait and switch, you think?
It's a bait and switch.
This is your theory?
Yeah, my theory is that it's HW with his little mask thing that he does.
Yeah, the tech from Earth 2.
Yeah, the tech from Earth 19.
I don't remember what that was even called. Oh, yeah, Earth 19, yeah.
Yeah, and the transmogrifier.
Yeah, transmogrifier.
Yeah.
That's it.
So they changed the face because they hinted to that when Barry and Captain Cold went in to steal the Dominator tech.
Lila.
They transformed themselves to look like Lila and did a good job until it came up to that question.
Yeah.
Which
what
that's
we
why you gotta
discovered
have those personal questions as your password protectors, you know.
What you discover in Flash is they never do anything without intention. Every prop, every piece has purpose. So if you watch it closely enough, it does telegraph. And Paige and I were talking earlier, they really did telegraph this one tremendously with the transmogrifier, with the fact that Lila, with the fact that at the last minute, HR or HW was starting to get frustrated that he wasn't helping the team. And then the whole Savitar doing the little Roadrunner maneuver where Barry should hit him gave ample time, and then the final was him looking at the case with the dagger in it, and at that point you realize he's going to make that. So if they don't do that, I will be shocked because they're not going to kill off Iris.
I didn't draw the connection. I think I was just tired, but I was like, but it's something to do with Wells, and I was like, is Wells going to sacrifice himself? What's going to happen there? Jada, do you agree?
I have to agree that is probably what happened, but I ended up after the episode saying to my husband, Barry just spent this entire season trying to prevent something.
Yes.
And if that was me, I would have been trying to spend time with the person I love.
Yes.
And how is this going to affect them going forward?
True.
Because she made this video, giving her wedding vows, expecting to die.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, she's broken now.
Yeah.
We have seen, last week we saw sort of an Iris West, but not really.
Yes.
She took off the engagement ring.
Yeah, we saw a little glimpse of her this season where she was this episode where she was talking to Joe about memories from childhood, and it was a moment like that where I was like, let Candace Patton act. She does a good job.
That's why I think that it is HR, because a couple reasons. One, and it ties into what you're saying. If HR, I don't think Iris knew about this because she did. If HR saves her, Barry didn't. Huge. And number two, it finally gives us the hero that doesn't need the cape. Arrow's been trying to do that and they can't. But HR becomes the hero without the cape.
And what has been HR's point this whole season?
He's been useless.
He's felt inadequate the whole season, and we didn't really know why he was there. And also they set it up with like him asking Tracy to be part of the team, which Tracy can take over the role of the former Wells.
Exactly.
And so it really, like I said, it was set up very well. I didn't pick this theory out. I saw this on today when I asked all of you on the Flash discussion group page, so saying thanks to Lance Officer and gang. And Lance actually said he agreed. H.R. Wells made the ultimate sacrifice. He used his Earth's technology and did a swap with Iris. So all of these people thought, and there were more that thought that was what happened. There was a couple other theories. Stephen Harris said, I think they may end it exactly like the animated movie of Flashpoint, and Barry will stop himself from going back to the night in the first place at the end of season 2. So that's a good thought. I haven't watched all of that, but that is a very popular, if you haven't checked that on Netflix, Flashpoint. And then Stefan also made the good point that we never did see what happened with Cisco, so that's a cliffhanger.
Could Caitlin have turned and helped him?
You never know. And some people think that, you know, maybe he went back in time again. And then for the trailer for next week, we see the characters, but you know, being a promo producer myself, I try to trick people into watching. You don't want to give everything away. So you know, the only thing that I would say that maybe it wasn't the only reason I would say that maybe perhaps it wasn't that they switched faces was what Captain Cold had said. He said that you gotta beat Savitar by being yourself. You have to be good, and you don't want to get to his level and try to like come to his level and fight him that way. Right. So
well,
maybe
the counter to that is because he knew everything Barry was going to do, there's absolutely no way. And that's why I think the HR thing plays so well, because it's the inevitability of nothing Barry could do. Could save her, and yet here is HR who came in. And it was a deeper episode for me because I recently lost an uncle who was like a father figure to cancer. And the entire this season felt like an homage to that. That where you're fighting against a disease that there's an inevitability, and at the end there's almost a coming to terms with it and a mourning prior. So it had a very, and I had the same reaction with Jessica Jones, but it just had a very deep reaction to me, and I thought, for me, this is the best season because in the beginning I'm thinking, gosh, it's just we lose to Savitar. But again, you have to watch these series in totality because when you get to the end, you're like, wow. They did a really good job of weaving that story. I think the forgetful episode was just filler. But the rest of it, it was just so well done. And I don't know why. And I don't want to talk about Arrow. I don't want to throw Arrow on the bus. But I don't know how Flash is written so well, and yet Arrow feels like it's just kind of slap shot together. It doesn't feel like it's got any kind of flow to it anymore.
It feels like Arrow did a little too much with backstory this season, and I think that could have been summed up.
Impossible to beat.
I think the recent episodes of Arrow without the backstory, without the flashbacks, have been better, and so that proves the point that nobody likes the flashback.
Flashbacks were interesting to a certain point, and then they became monotonous and redundant.
Couple.
They could actually do a spin-off with just the flashbacks.
5 per episode. I'm like, what happened? Who's Anatoly? What? It gets too confusing. But
not to say that Anatoly's character isn't completely wonderful.
Oh, and who can Dolph Lundgren?
If we could have maybe combined some things, like the villain of Arrow was better than Savitar, I thought, this year. Like, I think Adrian Chase is...
Oh, psychologically, it was a whole...
Even Queen Rhea.
It was a whole Silence of the Lambs kind of thing. We got to bring back Talia, the whole betrayal of Artemis. All of that was good, but the flashbacks and all the extra nonsense kind of just drain that. And even the story with Mad Dog and his Wild Dog and his daughter was, I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually, because he's the one character, he just grates on me. I don't know why. And it's not him. I think it's just the writing. But
Renee,
Renee, they could have. I mean, I was actually calling myself going, wow, this is really poignant. And they were able to bring Lance back in into something other than being the drunk. He was actually had some stories. So it's like, guys, can we not please put this together? So
maybe they will. Maybe they'll tie it up. My question for you is, when we're talking about Iris and accepting her fate, did the writers give her too little to do? Should she have done more to prevent her own death? Last year she was super eager to be part of the team, and this year she was like, "Can I get some caviar?"
She's always been independent and a go-getter, and for her to just sit back and just accept it, it's just kind of out of character for her.
I would say the one writing flaw this season is we didn't get enough Iris. We didn't get an episode. The little bits that she has with Joe during this episode and just a little video with Barry, they're powerful. And if she had carried a full episode, that would have made even this episode have a bigger impact.
I think the idea was less was more. That, as Jada pointed out, that scene with her giving the wedding vows, and whoever picked the music for that episode was amazing. I have to download that song.
I almost Shazammed it.
It was phenomenal. But that was powerful. But I agree with you. The thing that I missed was there was zero interaction with Wally. which should have been huge because he just
Yeah.
lost his mother. But there was no interaction. I want to see Joe and Iris interact.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the super fast rating speed and all that. That's awesome. And we saw the Frozo Killer Frost thing that was like a ripoff right out of Incredibles. But I would like to see. I mean, Flash has gotten to a point now where Arrow tried to do it too fast.
Yeah.
They could step back and go, okay, let's do a little more story. Let's do a little more character development. And I think people would appreciate that.
Yeah, Iris should have been shown carrying on her life
Yes.
and going to work and writing and being.
Or trying to help the team, and I think that it's nothing to do with the character. People get very defensive about Iris West. It's not about her. It's about how she was written and what she was given to do. Most of the time, she's just scenery in the scenes, and we'll have her do more. The Flash is not awesome about girl power, whereas like Supergirl is like all about girl power.
Yeah.
The Flash is not awesome about girl power, and they're not writing her as strong as they should.
Yeah, it's like when they have too many female characters, one begins to feed off the other. Caitlin is a very powerful character.
Yes.
And again, we completely dropped the ball with Jesse Quick.
Yes.
Trajectory was just basically, she could have been an amazing villain for Flash to fight. We kind of dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe she'll come back.
No, please no. We don't need another speedster villain.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be no more speedsters for at least a couple seasons.
But like a girl villain would be cool.
Well, I'm thinking Abracadabra will probably be the next kind of Joker to Barry's Flash.
That would be very cool.
So
speaking of Caitlin, Cisco, Caitlin, we left them in the woods. We don't know what has happened. Predictions there.
I really picked up on her referring to herself as Caitlin.
Yes.
And not as Killer Frost.
And when she would say Barry,
Yeah.
Mr. Savitar, as it would get very mad.
Yes.
And I think that inside she is battling Killer Frost. And battling to take back over her body.
Yeah.
And her consciousness.
Will Cisco lose his hands as seen in the future?
I can't imagine them doing that. And also, to go Jay's point too, again with Flash deliberately, did everyone notice that Killer Frost's makeup has changed dramatically after the scene where she worked with everybody? She went from pure white to back to almost a skin tone.
Interesting.
And that
I
was
noticed
again
it was different, but
very intentional. They have one of the best costume departments and makeup departments in the CW.
Yeah.
And
I love this.
very different. And she can't bring herself to kill. She's not Killer Frost. So I wonder if, because she's a good guy in the comics now. I think she's on the Justice League at this point, I think. So it would be nice to see her kind of metamorphosized into a helped Barry, but if they make her a villain, it's going to be tough to keep her on the show.
Do you think that they'll just convert her into a Killer Frost that is not a villain? Like a helpful Killer Frost.
Frozo.
Yeah, like,
Miss Frozo.
like Captain S. Cold or something, you know, like she's using her frozen powers to help.
I think that if she can get her hands back on a pendant, you know, if Julian can make another one, that she would willingly take it on, you know, put it on, and then try to experiment with her powers and using them and not letting them take her over.
Yeah. Speaking of Julian, where was Julian?
That guy can't score in any universe.
Where was Julian
Poor
this whole
guy.
episode? Could maybe
persona non grata.
We see in the trailer, we see that Harrison Wells is, or HR is in the trailer next week. And now maybe they transmogrified Iris's face. Maybe they had two and they did a swap. But could it have been Julian? Because so many people were set up to think that it was HR, but we didn't see Julian all episode. I don't remember if he was like leaving.
No, after she said, "I don't love you," I think that's when we saw. I think
Did he leave?
I think he may have left or just disappeared for a while. But poor Julian, he can't. Harry Potter and Flash, he can't score anywhere.
And Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
He's just having a rough go at it. Poor guy.
So, but that could be, is that a possibility? Is maybe Julian who has the transmogrified face?
I would not want to think so.
No.
Only because,
only
because I think Julian is a very valuable character, and he still has more to do.
Yeah.
You know, he's come around from this real jerk to only semi-jerk.
And I think the point you made was that your Paige said that that the Tracy has going to, because they've done now HR. How many times are we on HR number 4?
3.
HR number 3. So we need a break from HR. So, although I love his character, I love Tom. But I think that, and it would be nice to have a female, another female scientist.
It
in the
would,
mix.
especially if like the Danielle Panabaker character is not really part of the team as she was anymore. You do need that replacement.
And she still plays the kind of.
And we still
Caitlin
need Julian to make the pendant.
So Julian will probably be back, I guess. I don't know. I haven't checked it out on IMDb, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's call him right now.
We'll call Mr. What's his name? Tom. Felton.
I was going to call him Malfoy.
Felton. Siri, what's Tom Felton's number?
By the way, that was a cool curveball they threw everybody because they kept talking about Abracadabra. They brought him in, and everyone made the assumption that because of Harry Potter, he would be Abracadabra. And I like how they swapped that out and made him more of the minion of Savitar.
Yeah.
So he's still got that magic element, but
Yeah.
we didn't go full.
I do like him playing more. I was glad that it didn't turn into he was like a full-on villain.
Yeah.
Because it kind of is easy because he was full-on villain in Harry Potter. So I'm glad.
I'm sure he's glad too because I'm sure the typecasting gets old after a while.
Yeah, I'm sure. And speaking of villains, Queen Rhea on Supergirl, feisty. She's feisty. Now, it was a very female-driven episode, and Cat Grant was back, which a lot of people have missed Callista Flockhart's character. How did you feel about her return?
I was really excited to see her return, and I'm glad she returned, and I hope she's in next week's episode. But I think she also needs to only make guest appearances.
Agreed.
Because
The little cat goes a long way.
yes,
That's
yes.
a perfect way to say it. Yes. Yeah. She put a cat. Yeah, I agree. We were talking, was her speech was very Bill Pullman Independence Day ripoff. Was she too Cat Granty?
It was almost like the Cara Myriad speech. It was like we just recycled that and added a couple other things to it.
Yeah.
So,
Was it too her name dropping and like, I don't know.
It's like she was trying to fit in a whole season of herself in one episode.
Yes, exactly.
Good point, Paige, yeah.
And I like the character. I love this moment where she was giving her sage advice.
That was the best moment.
Because it was
Or
so
the best Cat
overt.
Grant moment
Yeah.
because it wasn't so staged.
Yes.
It was very natural. You know, I'm a human giving this, otherworldly being human advice.
I think that the charm of Cat Grant in last season was more that she was so powerful, boss babe, but then she wasn't like this. She was like braggy. I thought.
yeah.
It was
I
like
thought the whole episode,
Yeah.
and save your hate mail. I thought the whole episode was over the top, and you
Dusk
made a point.
series.
Yeah, you made a point that, and you're right. That Flash is this episode of the Supergirl was the exact opposite of Flash, where it just seems like they can't find a happy medium. It's either overtly girl power or not enough girl power.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. And this one, for me, was almost so cartoony. And I made that comment to Paige.
Yeah.
And the Independence Day references, the ease of everybody escaping once the speech comes.
Yeah.
The whole everyone, the president's an alien, no big deal.
Yeah.
All of that, it just. It felt very cartoony, and I know it's supposed to be the brighter version,
Yes.
but so is Flash.
Yeah.
And I
know.
think that they haven't come into their own as writing yet. I really think Supergirl has. I think as they get better and better, they will come into their own. But I just find it to be a little bit. I mean, you're doing an episode where Cat Grant starts off by talking about women are superior and that guys always want to do this, and then the whole episode is about a woman bringing a wedding together.
Yeah.
It's all about wedding planning, and I'm like, you're destroying the planet, and you're worried about. I mean, but this is where, and I know this is going to upset some of my male friends, but guys should not write for women unless they have someone to approve that, because it's either over the top or it's so underplayed, as in Caitlin or Iris, that you don't get that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that when we were writing Dusk is I actually talked to my female actors and said, what do you think of this line? Does this work? And so I got their input.
That?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they were able to. And I think that needs to happen more if it's not happening, because it's sad, because Supergirl is basically, she's the female Christopher Reeve. She really is to me.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I think the episode is, and again, this may cause trigger warning, but I think it's too political. It's too preachy.
Well, I do like that I don't like being preached, but I like
Touching on
undertones,
it's fine.
subtle undertones. Have any of you watched The 100?
No.
That's a great show for
My daughter endorses it.
Yes, it's if you're looking. Well, I think I'm all about. They're trying to really do some girl power on Supergirl, and I'm all about it. I think they're in the right direction. A little hit or miss. The 100, it's like subtle. It's like. It's not, I am a girl and powerful. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's the
women
only
there lead.
upside to DC Legends tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is Sarah Lance.
Yeah.
Her character is one of the best written female characters.
Oh, really?
She's
Okay.
conflicted. She's strong. She represents her character in the right way. She's a role model. You see the conflict.
Well,
she's genuine.
consistent,
Yeah,
too.
and she makes no
yes.
That's the problem that I've had
Absolutely.
with Supergirl
Yeah.
is, you know, her sister hasn't been that consistent. It's like, you know, she's really tough and badass one time, but then another time she's all super mushy, which is out of character. And Monel, you know, he starts out all dude bro when you first introduce him,
and now he's soft.
and then now he's super soft.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, I think we're going to see next week a big clash between Monel and Kal-El.
Yes, we have to talk about that. What is up with Superman? At the end,
He's
we
under
see
mind control again.
You think it's mind control?
Oh, of course.
Is that simple?
It's got to be that.
That's
because
the most powerful force in the CW universe's plot device. I'm almost about it.
Well, so okay, we see that, but then, do you think we will have a Lois and Clark reunion? With Mr. Danvers showing back up?
The way they love to drop Easter eggs, I don't see how they can help from doing it.
I know, like, come on, do it. I've been waiting the whole season for this. And you're gonna have Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain put them in the room together. Unless they don't get
stars
along.
together, and that's how they'll bring peace.
Yes, that's it.
So.
And then they fly away.
he's going to kill her.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be interesting.
And who knows? Maybe he wants to. I don't know if did they get along back in the day. Who knows? But big episodes. We gotta wrap up now. But the trailer for next week's Flash, you can find that on CW YouTube channel. It's a really good one. It's very somber, but I am excited to see how they're ending this. It was a little bit better than I expected last night. Yeah. So lots of stuff to look forward to. Again, genderlines.org. Find Paige there, and we've got the Dusk series on Facebook. And they're on March 21st, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Live episode.
Episode number 8.
And then
I'm sorry,
Carolinas.
May 21st.
May. Oh, wow,
21st.
yeah.
Thank you, Jada.
I tried. We're ruining the timeline.
Barry.
Just is going to die by Saboteur. That's it.
It's all your fault.
It is. Please, no more time travel. We plead you, no more time travel. Con Carolina is coming up June 2nd through 4th, not March, June.
Yes.
Make sure, go to WCCBCharlotte.com contest tab if you want to maybe win some tickets. And I will be there. Jada will be there. Hopefully everybody will be there. Yeah. And we will see you next week on Super Chat for the finale. Bye.
Bye, everybody.